Sometimes, God hides his lessons in the simplest stories. Like a giant who learns that love shared is the only thing that makes life bloom again. Long ago, there was a beautiful garden. Every afternoon after school, children would hurry through the streets just to play there. It was no ordinary garden, it was a dream made real. Soft green grass stretched as far as the eye could see. Flowers sparkled like tiny stars. And when spring arrived, 12 peach trees burst into delicate blossoms of pink and pearl. In autumn, they bore the richest, juiciest fruit. Birds perched on the branches, singing so sweetly that the children would stop playing just to listen. "How happy we are here," the children would shout, their laughter dancing through the air. But one day, everything changed. The giant came back. He had been away visiting his friend, the Cornish ogre, and had stayed with him for 7 long years. When he returned, he saw the children playing in his garden. "What are you doing here?" he roared. The children scattered like leaves in the wind. "My own garden is my own garden," the giant declared. "No one is allowed to play here but me." And with that, he built a high wall all around the garden and put up a sign: "Trespassers will be prosecuted." The poor children had nowhere to play. They tried the streets, but the roads were dusty, filled with stones, and completely joyless. So instead, they wandered along the giant's wall, gazing longingly at the garden. "How happy we were there," they whispered. Then came spring, but not in the giant's garden. All over the country, flowers bloomed and birds sang. Everywhere, except here. The garden was trapped in winter. Trees refused to blossom. Flowers peeked out, saw the cruel notice, and sadly retreated underground. Even the birds ignored it. Only the snow, the frost, the north wind, and the hail were happy. The snow whispered softly, "Spring has forgotten this garden." The frost nodded and smiled. "Then we shall stay here forever." And so they did. The snow blanketed the grass in white. The frost painted the trees silver. The north wind roared, wrapped in furs, and blew down chimney pots. The hail rattled across the roof every day, dressed in gray, his icy breath freezing everything. "I cannot understand why spring is so late," the giant muttered from his window. And indeed, spring never came. Summer skipped it too. Even autumn denied it her golden fruit. One morning, the giant woke to the most beautiful music he had ever heard. He thought it must be the king's musicians passing by. But it was only a little linnet singing outside his window. Still, it was enough. The hail stopped. The north wind quieted. A sweet perfume floated in. "Spring, at last," the giant whispered. And when he looked out, oh, what a sight! Through a tiny hole in the wall, the children had crept in. Every tree held little laughing faces. The trees themselves seemed happy, covering themselves in blossoms, swaying gently above the children. Birds flew and twittered. Flowers peeked through the grass, laughing in delight. But in one corner, winter still lingered. A tiny boy stood there, too small to reach the branches, crying bitterly. The tree bent down, inviting him up, but he was too little. The giant's heart melted. "How selfish I have been," he said. He crept softly outside, picked up the little boy, and placed him atop the tree. Instantly, it burst into blossom. Birds sang, and the little boy wrapped his arms around the giant, kissing him. The other children, seeing the giant was kind, returned. And with them came spring. "It's your garden now, little children," said the giant. And with a mighty swing of his axe, he knocked down the wall. The people who passed by at noon were amazed. There was the giant, laughing and playing with the children, in the most beautiful garden they had ever seen. Years passed. The giant grew old. He could no longer play, but he watched the children with joy. "I have many beautiful flowers," he said. "But the children are the most beautiful flowers of all." One winter morning, he saw a miraculous sight. In the farthest corner of the garden stood the little boy, now covered in dazzling white blossoms, with golden branches above him. And on his hands and feet were marks of 2 nails. "Who hath dared to wound thee?" the giant cried in anger. The child smiled. "These are the wounds of love," he said. And then he told the giant, "You let me play once in your garden. Today, you shall come with me to my garden, which is paradise." That afternoon, the children found the giant lying beneath the tree, at peace, surrounded by white blossoms. And so, the selfish giant, who once kept the children out, learned the greatest truth of all. Love shared is the only thing that makes a garden bloom. The story reminds us that sharing, kindness, and love bring true joy, while selfishness and exclusion leave life empty. Just as the giant's heart was transformed when he welcomed the children, Jesus shows us that his love can soften even the hardest hearts. Through redemption, compassion, and community, God fills our lives with purpose, friendship, and lasting happiness.